Colin, on April 14th, the PlayStation 4 version of Final Fantasy XIV comes out.
Yeah.
See why they picked that date.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's gonna be big for PS4.
Apparently, you can take baths.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So
that's fantastic. Yeah, I think this is going to be good. I'm really happy for Square that they found success with Final Fantasy XIV.
Finally.
Final Fantasy XIV's failure, I think, was somewhat predictable when it first came out. I think that it seemed kind of, I don't want to say rushed, but it didn't seem timely in that environment where and I'm not an MMO player, but you see other MMOs come out and they seem huge and they actually end up failing. And so it didn't seem like it was really going to work, especially because Final Fantasy XI was actually so big, and people would still prefer to play that, just like Phantasy Star Online existed forever.
Yeah, EverQuest and EverQuest 2.
Yeah, exactly. I lived with a guy that played EverQuest 2 like constantly, and that was only a few years ago. So it's I'm happy for them because they needed that financial boon to help them offset some of these other costs for games that are not selling, and so. PS4 I think is a good home for it, and I think it's going to do well there.
I think it's going to do great. I played that game on PC. It feels well equipped on consoles. I played it for a month and then moved on, but I did love that month, and would have been willing to play more, but just got busy.
Sure.
That game's fantastic. I applaud Square Enix for doing the right thing, and I cannot imagine the cost to unlaunch the game, staff up the development team, take years to rebuild it, relaunch it, and just not give up. And then do it right, and the game comes out, and it's fantastic. That's unprecedented. I've never really heard of anybody doing something like that before. And I feel like that game's going to do really well. The post-launch support has been really solid. They're adding stuff at a regular clip, adding bosses, adding things for the max level players to do so they stay subscribed. That's a subscription MMO that, by all accounts, seems to be doing well. So
now Bethesda confirmed that Elder Scrolls Online on PS4 will not require PlayStation Plus to play. Have you heard about Final Fantasy XIV?
Oh, they have announced, but I don't remember what they said.
No, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. It's so nebulous right now too because there's just no games like PlayStation Plus acts a lot like Xbox Live Gold, I guess, does now. But there seems to be a bunch of ways out of that with other games, and so I don't know. I kind of assume that you're going to see, especially with first-party games, they're just going to be you don't need it.
Yeah,
But
I don't think you're going to need it for this. It wouldn't make any sense
so.
because again, now we have two cases, right? DC Universe Online and Elder Scrolls. We charge you subscription. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I do think, going back to that Elder Scrolls point, as we move on for these MMOs, a lot of MMOs launch and they're a lot of fun and people love them, and then it seems like no one understands where the player base goes. They fall off, they stop playing, and why'd that happen? Our game's so fun. You didn't have end game content.
Sure.
To me, I'm not a game designer. It's easy for me to sit here on this couch and tell you what you're doing wrong, but it really seems obvious to me. Have lots of content for your players to chew through once they reach that level cap. And if you do that, people stick around and keep subscribing. And if you don't have anything for your players to do, they'll fall off. And that's something that Final Fantasy XIV, they have room to improve, but they've done a pretty decent job of that so far. And Elder Scrolls, that could be what make or breaks that game as a subscription MMO.